Now we have Billy. Are you there? Billy
Hey
writes,
guys, how's it going?
it's going great. I'm going to read your post and then you'll kick it off. Enter the sea glider era. The world's first sea glider has hit the water. Room for 12 passengers and 100% battery powered. The test vehicle is human crewed from day one. 65-foot wingspan, 15,000 pounds. Trials are underway. You're in the back of a car. Break it down. What'd you launch? How's it going?
And to be clear, this has always been John's vision for the show, is that
Yes.
you could just basically anywhere you are in the world, you just pull up your phone and you're on the show. So welcome to the show.
Thank you so much
That's
for calling
exactly
in.
what it is. No, thank you guys. You know the startup grind for sure. So we're
Exactly.
hustling right now. But awesome week for Regent. So we're 4 years old as a company building sea gliders, which are all electric flying boats for regional transportation, dual use. So we're doing regional routes. Imagine like Manhattan to the Hamptons in under an hour for $60, going Miami out to the Bahamas or Key West, all around the world. So this is the first prototype vehicle. This summer, when we fly it, it'll be the largest electric flying machine in history, 15,000 pounds. For now, first big milestone was just getting it on the water and starting some testing.
That's amazing. Can you talk about the advantages of being regulated? I believe it's regulated as a boat, but you still get the speed of something much faster than a boat. And that seems to be maybe the key insight here that allows you to just move faster, bring this to market, and deliver kind of a flying car almost, or a new plane, a new mode of transportation in a way that's just so much easier and faster and more at like a startup pace. Break that down.
Yeah, that's exactly right. My background was in the aviation space. And so I was engineering in sort of the beginning of the eVTOL hype cycle, which I think we're still very much in. We're starting to see some consolidation there. But, you know, I drank the Kool-Aid. We were building those vehicles. We even flew a few. But the thing I kept hitting my head against the wall was the limited range of an electric aircraft flying on batteries. You can't really go that far. And also this $1 billion, decade-long certification pathway. And so we realized that if we sort of brought this electric aviation technology and put it in the maritime domain, we actually solve both problems. The first is that as long as we stay within a wingspan of the surface of the water and stay over the water, there's actually a special class of vehicle called a wing and ground effect vehicle. We made up the word sea glider because wing in ground or WIG is very difficult to Google. You don't get vehicles when you Google WIGs. But there's this regulatory regime where they stay under the Coast Guard jurisdiction because operationally, you're in the waterways anyway, so you're not going into airspace or deconflicting with air traffic. And then on the other side, flying low altitude on this cushion of air, like birds are flying over the water, you're actually really aerodynamically efficient. So we can go much longer range than any other electric flying machine. So we solve both problems.
That's cool. Can you break down some of the advantages of going electric? I remember when we talked, it's not just about saving the planet and avoiding emissions. It's also about efficiency and like actually being maintenance and less parts. Can you break all that down for me?
That's exactly what I told Bellion in our first pitch meeting. It was exactly that, right? It's you know, we need to build this business around sustainability of the business model, not necessarily sustainability from an emissions perspective of the product. So the driving cost in short haul aviation, if you think of how an airplane ages, it's actually the maintenance costs. They age by the cycles. You take off and land and you're impacting your landing gear. You're expanding and contracting your fuselage. When you pressurize it, you're heating up and cooling your engine. So the driving cost on the short haul is actually maintenance. And the shorter the route, the more cycles you do, the more you age it. So it's sort of this runaway effect. If you switch to an all-electric system, now you have very few moving parts. They age by the hour. There's not a lot of heat generated. And so for short haul, electrification makes a ton of sense. And that's actually where the range sort of buys you with electrification. I don't need to cross the ocean. I'm trying to connect people to the metropolitan centers. And there's this huge hole in the market because we're talking about routes on the order of 100 to 200 miles today that can get up to 300 to 400 miles with better batteries. So these are routes where it's too far to drive anyways. You get caught in traffic. We don't really have high-speed rail in America or even around the world, but it's too short to fly because you're sitting in the airport longer than you're in the airplane itself.
Yeah, I've never seen a plane with 10 propellers on it. Why 10, not 2 big ones?
Yeah, so we had our quarter scale prototype that had the 8 propellers on the wing. Our full scale now has 12 propellers across the wing.
That's right.
So what we're doing, this configuration is called a blown wing. It's not that clever a name. We blow the wing with the propeller wash coming off the props. And so we're basically tricking the wing into generating high lift at low speeds because the wing sees fast moving air, even when the vehicle's moving slowly. And sort of the whole unlock of the sea gliders, if you're like, this isn't that new, we have seaplanes, why are we doing this?
Yeah.
The whole point is that seaplanes and flying boats in the past have these planing hulls. And so if you've gone over like 10 miles an hour on a boat in any sea state, you'll know how bumpy that ride gets. So sort of in the best case scenario, it's bumpy and uncomfortable. Worst case scenario, you can't take off at all. That's why seaplanes have never really scaled, and they're sort of restricted to lakes and rivers. So we needed to solve the wave tolerance problem. We do that with hydrofoils. So if you're familiar with, America's Cup, Sail GP, the e-foil surfboards.
Yeah, we were looking at going with the Sail GP here in LA.
Have you gone?
I haven't yet.
We're thinking about going. It seems awesome.
You need to go. It's like you will intimately understand how the wave tolerance of the hydrofoil works, because it just lifts you off and it's like a magic carpet and it's kind of surreal. So it also makes you appreciate what our flight control system is doing, because balancing yourself takes a little while and you fall a lot. But the point is, we get wave tolerance up to 5 feet on this vehicle. So the model is, if your commercial airplanes are flying, the sea gliders are going too. We can take off in 5-foot seas. Hydrofoils have a limited top speed because of the drag of the water. And so we needed to lower the takeoff speed to overlap with that hydrofoil regime. We're the first ones to figure that out. So blowing this design, we slow down the takeoff speed enough to take off from the hydrofoil. So that was actually the other reason why we electrified. Again, the sustainability is a nice benefit, but it's secondary. We electrified because it's economical, and we electrified because it's a pretty good way of distributing propulsion on a wing rather than a bunch of different engines or gearboxes.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Long term, are you planning to own the entire traveler experience, from booking to operating the routes to obviously making the aircraft? I can imagine this as kind of a JSX that actually owns and develops.
And, certainly in.
I think we can hear you. Can you hear us?
Yeah, we definitely thought about it. Do you got me?
Yeah, we're good.
I'm on the road. You still got me?
Yeah, we're good.
Cool. We definitely thought about it in the early stage. The eVTOL companies are sort of doing that end-to-end thing. For us, we said, this is a brand new mode of transportation. People are going to need to build trust on it. And what better way for both passengers to build up trust and, candidly, investors to build up trust in this wacky electric flying boat company than to have sort of established brands with already existing operations be our customers. So our customers are airlines, our customers are ferry companies, our customer is the Marine Corps in the high-speed logistics mission. But those are the entities that are buying sea gliders and operating it. We're the Boeing or Airbus here. When we founded, I said we're the Boeing of sea gliders. That's become a little taboo. So now I say we're the Airbus of sea gliders, which makes me hurt as an American, but here we are.
Oh, well.
That's amazing.
Can you give us a little background on where the company is, how big you guys are, what you've raised, where you're going next, who you're hiring, that type of stuff?
Yeah, we are based in the Silicon Valley of the East.
Yes.
Of Rhode Island.
Yes.
So, it's actually a growing technology. Anduril's moving into town. There's a few drone boat companies and underwater companies. So we're really seeing a growth in Rhode Island. The Ocean State, awesome test environment for us. Some of the best boat builders in the world. Newport, Rhode Island, home of the America's Cup. So it was a really great place for us to set up. We're about 100 people now. We actually just broke ground on a 255,000 square foot manufacturing facility, also in Rhode Island. So we're going to be building sea gliders here. We're going to be scaling to another few hundred employees as we spool up our manufacturing. Expect to open that facility in early 26 and deliver sea gliders and enter service, probably starting in Hawaii or Miami or some of the top 2 that our early customer wants to go to, and that entry to service in late 26, early 27.
That's fantastic.
Amazing.
Jordy, you have anything else?
We got to host the show on one of these bad boys as soon as we can. It's been a dream of ours to do it from the air.
I want to take it out to
California. Summer in Rhode Island. Got to come out.
Yeah, we got to go out there. Thank you so much for calling in, giving us the update firsthand. We'll share the video and repost the clip. It's fascinating stuff, and we really appreciate everything you're doing. So thanks for calling in, and we'll talk to you soon. Give us a call back when there's more news.
You got it. I'll see you at Rhodey. We'll go out on a sea glider.
Fantastic.
See you in Rhodey.
We'll see you. Bye.
Cheers.